Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Sarita, and today we are diving into one of the most common sources of daily conflict for parents, the morning routine. If your child fights you every step of the way, from waking up to getting out of the door, you're absolutely not alone, and it's time to stop blaming the defiance. So, before we get to the solution, we need to talk about the hidden cost of this conflict. The constant friction isn't just a tough start to the day, it's a ripple effect that touches every person in the family and follows you for hours. First of all, it impacts you as a parent. Morning routines mean you leave home stressed and you start work already tense. Your body is carrying the residue of the morning conflict with your child, which can make small tasks feel heavier and it can cause problem solving harder for you at work. You're mentally playing defense from one minute to the other. And then when you get back home at the end of the day, you're so depleted and you have such little patience left to give to your family, which can also create a frustrating cycle. Secondly, it impacts your child. Your child may arrive at school dysregulated. They've been rushed, they've been yelled at, they've been shamed into action. And this makes it harder for them to focus, harder for them to sit still, and much harder to learn. Their brain is still processing the morning's emotional spike, and they carry that tension until they connect with someone safe or until the security of a predictable schedule calms their nervous system. Your other children, so siblings, absorb the negative tone as well, and they often tend to copy the conflict or add their own resistance just to feel seen. If you guys live in a two adult or two parent household under the time pressure, trying to manage a chaotic environment, this can lead to friction and blame between both of you. Here's the truth you need to hear. This struggle is common and it's not a sign of failure. You're stuck in a pattern that is fixable with small changes to your morning approach. You can break this cycle and you can reset your family's dynamic. And the first step is understanding why it happens to work on how to break this cycle. Let's explore the brain science behind this resistance. The friction isn't about your child intentionally trying to be difficult. It's a direct result of how their developing brains work in the morning. Understanding this part is gonna be the first step to make your morning schedule easier. I'll go over the top 3 reasons for the morning resistance. Reason number 1, low morning regulation. When a child wakes up, their brain is starting slow. Their prefrontal cortex, which is a control center for emotional regulation, for planning, for switching the task, is essentially still booting up. They're operating on very low emotional fuel. So they simply lack the cognitive sources that are needed to manage the frustration or quickly initiate the complex tasks like getting dressed, finding their shoes, packing their backpacks, etc. Now, this leads to reason number 2, which is transition friction. The simple act of shifting the gears from like sleeping to waking or one task to the other takes energy. And this is the energy that your child simply does not have in the mornings. Parents are driven by deadlines. We move fast, and our kids, driven by how their brain works, move very slow. And this mismatch is the source of all the morning battles. Reason number 3 is a control struggle. Morning routine is like a rapid fire sequence of demands. Wear your clothes, brush your teeth, eat your breakfast, leave for school. It feels like a total removal of autonomy to your child. The child isn't choosing the chaos. They are pushing back because resistance is the only way for them to reestablish a sense of power and a sense of security in that rushed moment. Understanding these factors means we stop viewing the pushback as defiance and we start seeing it as a logical reaction to our kids' low regulation, rapid transition, and the need for control. Now we're going to move from why to how. I will give you a tangible 4-step framework that thousands of parents use to transform their morning routine from the battleground to a peaceful launch pad. And this is about shifting the burden of regulation from your child's exhausted morning brain to a more predictable system. Step number 1 is plan, which means you preload the morning. Think of your child's morning routine like running a marathon. And they cannot run a marathon if they start the race unprepared. So preloading means you do everything that's possible the night before. So the morning only requires the execution. Brain science is simple. Your child's brain is far more capable at 6 p.m. in the evening than it would be at 6 a.m. in the morning. So we need to use that window. How do you preload? Step number 1, clothes checkpoint. So make sure you decide and lay out the complete outfit, including socks, underwear, jacket, everything the night before. Number two, the lunch and snack lockup. So have your child help pack their lunches and snacks immediately after dinner. So you just have to take them out of the refrigerator and put in their lunch bag. Number three, the backpack. It should be fully packed the night before. Homework signed, the permission slips are done, all the library books are in the back, and it should be placed next to the front door. Number four is the breakfast blueprint. So decide what the breakfast is going to be the night before and reduce the number of choices needing upon the wake up. Now, preloading, it shifts 80% of the cognitive work to the evening before, and it leaves your morning free for what we call as a regulation routine, which brings us to step number two. Step number two is prioritize connection. So you build the slow start to the morning. Now, as I already mentioned, our children wake up with low emotional fuel. So if we try to jump straight into the task, it can trigger a fight or flight response. So you need to give their system a gentle ramp up routine. This means waking your child up 15 minutes earlier than what you think need to. And this extra time is non-negotiable. And it's not for the task, it's for connection and regulation. So, first thing your child needs or feels upon waking should be connection, not pressure. So, you can sit with them in their bed and cuddle for like 60 seconds, rub their back, and connect with them. And not use yelling as an alarm clock. You can use a light, a gentle sunrise alarm, or open the curtains to naturally aid the transition. By dedicating this little time to connection and slow regulation, you're really increasing their emotional resources before the demands are made. Step number three, partner with the tools. So let the chart and timer be the boss. Children resist when they feel a loss of control. When you give them a list of tasks in the morning, one after the other, that can lead to power struggles. So if you externalize this to a predictable system, it can make things easier for you. You need two tools for this. Number one, a visual checklist. So create a simple picture-based checklist of the morning task. And when your child drags their feet, you point to the chart and say, all right, what's the chart say is next? You're now their helper and not their boss. Number two, you need the timer. So replace a constant refrain. Hurry up, we're getting late. Now with the timer and visual countdown clock, the timer is the boss and not you. So set the timer for each block and when the timer is up, you simply say, the timer says it's now time to move on to the next thing. Step number four, you need patience and lots of patience. So even if you have a perfect system in place, there will be days when your child is simply tired or overwhelmed. On these days, resistance isn't defiance, it's communication. Your job is to validate the feeling and gently reinforce the boundary. So just when your child whines or throws a tantrum, pause, get to their eye level, and calmly help them name the emotion. You can say something like, I see you're having a really hard time today. If you feel like your child's truly stuck, you have to say something like, let's take a few deep breaths together, and then we're going to get back to looking at the chart again. Remember, your tone sets the entire family's tone. When you stay calm, you regulate your child. And this step is going to transform the resistance from a fight to an opportunity for emotional coaching. Now, to summarize, the four-step morning method is number one, you plan by preloading the morning. Number two, you prioritize the connection with a slow start to the morning. Number three, you partner with the tools, let the chart and the timer be the boss. And number four, you need patience and lots of patience and be ready to handle the resistance. This framework is going to replace the parental burden of being the enforcer with the calm role of being the leader. And it reduces the cognitive load in the morning and gives your child back the sense of control that they crave. You're simply dealing with a mismatch between a highly structured schedule and a developing brain. And if you implement these steps, you'll start noticing that you have easier mornings than ever. You can have calm morning, and it all starts with small shifts. So if this video was helpful, please like and subscribe for more science-backed parenting strategies and share this with another parent who may need a morning reset.